He was stabbed 12 times, unarmed, already wounded, and on the ground, but the attack didn't stop. On Thursday, 6 June 2024 at 22:35 hours, police were called to Carteret Way in Deptford. A young man had been chased down and attacked with machetes. When officers and paramedics arrived, 21-year-old Robert Robinson was lying in the street. Despite desperate attempts to save him, he died at the scene. The jury would later hear that earlier that same day, a 17-year-old boy had been robbed of his bicycle and phone on Deptford High Street. Jackson Uwagboe, 19, was responsible. Later that evening, Robert was part of a group who went looking for answers. They went to an address linked to Uwagboe's associate, Ryan Wedderburn. No one answered. Tensions escalated. 2 cars linked to the family were damaged. Minutes later, everything turned deadly. Uwagboe left the property with Ryan Wedderburn and Kirk Harris. All 3 were armed with machetes. They walked towards Carteret Way. Robert spotted them. He ran. His friend ran. His friend's mother was already on the phone to 999, reporting the earlier robbery. The operator was still on the line as the chase unfolded. Robert was caught, overpowered, and stabbed at least 12 times. Defensive wounds showed he tried to shield himself. He was unarmed, already injured, and still they continued. All 3 attackers fled, but the investigation was already moving. Met homicide detectives began piecing together hundreds of hours of CCTV, phone records, bank transactions, witness accounts, DNA. 1 knife was recovered and linked through forensic analysis to Kirk Harris. Another was pulled from the River Thames months later. CCTV tied it back to Ryan Wedderburn. Meanwhile, Jackson Uwagboe made a different move. The morning after the murder, his associate Eromosele Omoluogbe bought him a $1,129.89 plane ticket to Lagos, Nigeria. The following day, he was driven to Heathrow Airport. He fled the country, but the case didn't slow down. Phone data showed Omoluogbe had been in contact with Uwagboe in the hours after the killing. Detectives built the timeline, mapped movements, tracked money, tracked phones, tracked everything. On 25th of February 2025, Uwagboe returned to the UK. He was arrested at Gatwick Airport on suspicion of murder.
Keep still, mate. Keep still. Trying to put up my trousers. Trying to put up trousers? I can do that for you. 2 seconds. I'm just going to check this. Yeah? Yeah, confirmed. Mate, the time is 6:20. I'm currently under arrest for murder. On the 6th of the 6th, 2024. Okay? You don't have to say anything in May on defence if you do not mention one question, something like that. Can you do say maybe get evidence?
At the Old Bailey, the jury rejected his claims of self-defense. They heard how Robert was already wounded and on the ground when the fatal blows were delivered. Uwagboe was convicted of murder, robbery, and possession of a bladed article. Wedderburn and Harris are already serving life sentences. Omoluogbe was convicted of perverting the course of justice for helping him flee. Detectives described it as a relentless investigation. Hundreds of hours of footage, dozens of phones examined, international flight records, DNA evidence, and a knife dragged from the Thames. A stolen bicycle dispute escalated into a street execution and ended with life sentences.
Like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest crime updates.